What's poppin', y'all? It looks like what I said is coming to fruition now with Kick. It's almost like every step of the way it's been coming true. And Adin Ross, who has been pump faking leaving Kick for quite a while whenever he was in negotiations, he left the parent company of Stake, the partner company, the financier of it. He left Kick / Stake, and then went to Rain, which is another platform. But while he was still streaming on Kick, and Rain is also the one that's sponsoring all of his events, like his most recent brand risk that used to be sponsored by Kick / Stake. So what happened was, in the lead up to announcing his new deal, he was like, yo, I might go to Twitch. And then he's like, nah, I've done a lot with Kick. Even with my new deal, they said they're still going to show me love, etc., etc. Well, now it looks like he's not too happy with how Kick has been treating him. And I'm going to play you guys this clip right now.
I do want to tell y'all some though, bro. On God. Listen. Obviously, like, Priz knows about this situation. Cuff him, Cheeser, we spoke. I ain't gonna lie, chat. They up KPP so bad. Listen to this, bro. Literally, I got told yesterday, unless I'm gambling on Stake, they are not upping my KCIP. So motherfuckers don't even care about Kick no more. I'm just being real. That is crazy. I'm sorry. Like, they literally straight up said, unless you're on Stake, we're lowering. Dude, I'm not joking. Collab made like $30, bro. It's cooked. On God, it's cooked. If you're not on stake.com, they lower your. I'm sorry. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That is so bad, bro. That's so bad. That's so bad. It's so bad. Nah, hell no, we doing rain bet. You know what? Yo, that's why John said, hey, I'll pay for your Clippers. Whatever you miss, I got you, bro. Like, whatever. So that's what, if I go to Twitch, they'll pay for my Clippers on rain bet, basically. But bro, I ain't gonna lie, chat, that is crazy, bro. That is crazy. I hate doing that. I love Kick, but I built this from the ground up. Y'all did too. And I literally got told because I'm not on Stake, things are tricky, and that I can't get paid.
So here, Adin Ross is talking about moving to Twitch. And keep in mind, this last brand risk that he did, it was in Nashville. He got a private jet to go there. This private jet thing is the thing that scares me about Adin Ross the most. I think Adin Ross is spending a lot of money. Like, I don't know what that guy's bankroll is like, but private jetting, consistently sending private jets to people when it's almost unnecessary in certain scenarios is like, yo. But hey, I guess Nashville to Miami, maybe the jet is, well, not maybe. I don't know how much cheaper the jet is than a Miami to New York or a, God forbid, Miami to LA. Listen, I am nowhere near that bracket. So in this clip, but this is the most recent instance of this, and I think he might be serious about it. Now, he hasn't streamed on Twitch. If Adin Ross were to stream on Twitch, he'd get a ton of viewers, at least 30 to 50K around there. Some people were like, yo, he used to average 100K. Listen, times aren't what they once were. I think Adin Ross is as famous as he was back then, but I don't think he has as many active fans as he has back then. And I think that's all part of this clipping culture that's going on right now that I may talk about in another day, but actually, I don't even know if I'll talk about it, to be honest, because it would take a lot of explaining. But right here, Kick also pays incentives for Clippers to make money to spread their streamers with the Kick logo. It makes a lot of sense. But in this scenario, he's talking about his KCIP or KPP. I think they are one and the same, which is Kick Partner Program or Kick Creator Incentive Program, the KCIP, where they pay the streamer based on the hours streamed on an hourly rate and the viewership that they hold. And Adin Ross is talking about his pay is looking spooky. It's looking so bad that he would have to go to Twitch, because if Adin's on Twitch and he's averaging, 30 to 50,000 viewers, or let's say 30, 40K plus, you know how kind of bag that he would be making on there, especially with all of the ads running, which there are no ads on Kick. And I said this a long time ago where I was telling people like, yo, where do you guys think the money is coming from for this KPP? This is a momentary thing. And KickChamp, one of our favorite accounts here, KickChamp / Academics TV, they're like Dark Cosmo and Wanda. Just two different industries that are quite adjacent, but yeah, these guys are causing havoc in both. And this just shows he's like, oh, Kick pays Clippers to hype up their payout program using boosted payouts to make other creators believe they actually pay well. Which is funny because I think this same account was posting this type of stuff when Adin was shilling it. Because there was a point in time when Adin was like, yo, I just made 250K for one stream or two streams. And I'm like, this doesn't seem like it adds up. But here it says presenting bounty number 43, 3,000 per million views. Post the clip below. Expires Thursday, November 6th. That means 3,000 per million views for this bounty. Example caption, Asmongold reveals his Twitch and Kick earnings for October. Mention Asmongold and his Kick earnings. Video attached below. So what's the point of this? And let me just space it out. So initially, I was saying that Kick, they brought on Adin Ross. And it was just a free for all, right? It was like, yo, you could do anything on Kick, say anything, etc. I said this was not going to last very long. They were going to tighten the grip, but that's what they had to do. And they also gave 100% of the subscriber revenue to the streamer. So on Twitch, it's maybe a 50-50. It's usually a 50-50 split or a 70-30 at best. However, some streamers are able to get 70-30, but it's $5 or $6 for a sub now. And Twitch Prime, which is where a lot of people sub, which is if you have Amazon Prime together with it, it's free for the user, but not for the company. So they kind of lose money on that. But the point is, there is no Amazon Prime for Kick, but their incentive was like, hey, look, you get full subscriber revenue. We don't even need that. So you're probably like, how the hell is Kick making money? Well, they weren't making money. So moving forward, then they start to tighten the reins on the speech on Kick and what you're allowed to do on Kick because they want to stay on the App Store. They want to stay compliant. And understandable, but I knew that was going to happen. And then, of course, there's like certain people that get more favorability, like an Adin Ross, who's damn near a partner. Then they start paying people for exclusive deals where they're like, hey, we just want you to only stream on Kick to hopefully grow the user base. That phase ends. No more exclusive deals now. Now they need people to multi-stream. So they start getting people to multi-stream, and then they start this KPP thing to incentivize creators that are smaller. So they're like, hey, maybe you got only 80, 100 viewers. You could actually survive on Kick. So they're trying to get a lot of streamers to populate the site and have enough content on there. And I think they've done a good job internationally because in the Middle Eastern market, I think even in Japan and even in South America, they've got some big events. There was a fighting event, a boxing event that I was watching on Kick before Adin Ross's event, and that was doing like huge numbers. It's this guy with like a mask on his face, or not even a mask, it's like a Casper the Ghost sheet on his face and sunglasses. So they did that, and then to spread that, they got to advertise that, hey, these people are getting paid this much. But I always said this is going to end because where is the money coming from? Kick does not make money. It's just spending money. So now it seems to be the case that is dwindling, and XQC even addressed this when Adin Ross spoke about it most recently, and I'm gonna play you guys that clip right now.
Oh God, it's cooked. If you're not on stake.com, they lower your. I'm sorry. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That is so bad, bro. That's so bad. That's so bad.
Chat, I actually spoke when he said that the first time. Chat, I actually spoke directly with Eddie, and he told me that this wasn't true. Yo, listen. Maybe he's raging, maybe he's skit. Yo, I went straight to Eddie. Why didn't snitch? I was like, bro. If you guys always KPP, that's dog. Like, don't do that. And he said they didn't do anything. So I don't know.
So here, I don't think the caption, which is Kick Champ, said that Eddie lied. Eddie Craven, who's the owner of Kick. I think he's the owner of Stake and Kick and co-owner with Bijan Tirani. They're business partners. I don't think the guy straight up lied to XQC. I just think he probably didn't know. This guy's he's at least one person removed from the happenings of Kick because this guy's a public figure as well, Eddie. So he's doing a lot of public facing stuff. He's doing a lot of Stake stuff. He's doing a lot of Kick stuff. He's not on top of everything like how much somebody's getting paid from KPP. Now, if it was a big deal with Stake, you'd probably know. And another really popular streamer that was on Kick was Los Pollos, who I'm going to play his clip right now, and he's talking about his KCIP being a nightmare.
What the f are you talking about? I would legitimately make more. Yo, some of you are just brain dead. What money? Like, what are you talking about? Dude, my KCIP is garbage. Dude said KCIP, you don't even know what that means. You just heard another streamer say that.
So this is already two of the biggest people on the platform, which is Los and Adin Ross. And Adin Ross mentioned this guy Clav that did 2 streams for like 8 hours each and got like $30 in the total amount while he was averaging anywhere from 4 to 7K viewers, maybe peaking at 8K viewers. And this is like some new white guy that they brought in to do content with. Well, Cheezer brought him on first, which is Adin Ross's homie. And then through Cheezer, he went to Cuffham. And then through Cuffham, he went to Adin Ross and Sneeko and those guys. So this is coming to a head, and I think this was inevitable. I don't know why Adin Ross. I think this is another attempt by Adin Ross to try to get them to give him the money back, because the way KPP was paying out at its peak, or when he was making a lot of money, he was not going to get paid that much on Twitch. It does not work like that. So I think he just wants to get it back up there, but he's also not going to accept the ridiculously low payment that it is right now. And to that I say, what did he expect? Especially because Adin Ross, of all people, is with a competitor to the actual money-making operation. The actual money-making operation for Kick is the gambling stuff. So when Adin Ross signs with a new company, Rain, you want Kick to subsidize your hourly pay when you're sponsored by a new company that's their direct competitor, and you want them to front page you for your events that are sponsoring a direct competitor to them. Like, even I got to look at this, and you guys know how I feel about the whole gambling thing. Like, I'm against all of it. But I'm looking at this, and I'm like, come on. You can't tell me Eddie and Bijan or whoever's at Kick are wrong for that. Like, that's like self-cucking. That's monetary cucking if they allow you to do that. And they're like, yeah, dude, we're going to pay you a ton of money to advertise for somebody else. That does not make any sense whatsoever. And what Adin was saying in that clip too was that the guy John is the owner or the guy that's in charge of coordinating between the creators that are sponsored by Rain. He was like, yeah, John said he would pay for my Clippers if I go to Twitch. Because right now, Kick pays for the Clippers for Adin Ross. And this whole... so I was going to circle back to Adin Ross averaging 30 to 50K. I do think you would get over 100K on events because when you're getting that many views, Twitch is going to put you front-facing. And Adin Ross wants to be able to have his type of humor, which would get him banned rather quick. I don't think he would be able to restrain himself after having freedom for so long on Kick. And I think that fear and the inability to collaborate with other people that he likes on Twitch is what keeps him away from Twitch more than the money. I don't really think the guy makes many decisions for money. Like, brand risk is not a money-making operation. He's probably breaking even or losing money on nearly every event. But this is the game with Kick. I'm impressed that they've been able to survive this long. I do wish them success, Kick as a platform. But like I said, I still don't see a way that this is sustainable more than just being a place that loses money. And people can also say like, hey, Twitch just loses money too, considering that they haven't been profitable, I don't know, if ever. And Amazon just bought it and they're like, hey, we're just going to keep leaking money through this thing and just use it as a write-off, which that term gets misinterpreted a lot. So perhaps that's what Kick is trying to do. But at least with Twitch, they have the advantage of advertisers and streamers have a competitive rate that is predictable. Like, the money that comes in from Twitch is predictable as opposed to KCIP, KPP, which is a little bit all over the place. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.